Forgotten One was born in 1500 BBY. His home planet is unknown. His parents are also unknown. He rose to prominence during the New Sith Wars. He joined the Sith Order in the Academy of Korriban, where he learned from prominent masters and defeated countless other students. He became very obsessed with the idea of hunger and death, always wishing to become immortal with immortality. He wanted to break into the Sith tombs, or the Valley of the Dark Lords, to learn more knowledge, much like Darth Bane does, and one of the only few Sith to do so. He wanted to look for something in the ancient temple, where he could be able to learn and study these dark powers, where he might be able to do so. One day, he came across a temple that was to him unknown to him. It was calling to him in a way. When he became interested in this temple, he wanted to look for it for himself to see what he can learn from this knowledge. He came across a holocron where he was able to look for it. He picked up the holocron and used his lightning to unlock the holocron and its secrets. What he learned was catastrophic. And not only was this a holocron that was thousands of years old, it also contained a lot of knowledge that the Forgotten One can use to learn. But this holocron was the holocron of Darth Nihilus himself, the Lord of Hunger, who once lived many millennia ago, who also terrorized the galaxy during his time of age. Darth Nihilus' holocron was opened, and the Dark Lord himself appeared to the Forgotten One, learning all that he wanted to could about this ancient Sith Lord who lived thousands of years ago. The Forgotten One learned everything he could about Nihilus and all his secrets and all the philosophies that he wanted to learn from the ancient Sith Lord. After this information about hunger and immortality consumed the Forgotten One's mind, and sooner or later he developed a taste and force drain, feeding the life force of many other students, which he began killing all the students in the Sith Academy. And during the time when the Jedi were about to invade Korriban in 1006 BBY, the Forgotten One basically took a ship and he left the planet. But before he could do so, he wanted to kill other students and other Sith acolytes and other Force wielders on the planet to consume his hunger, and also to consume those of life itself. He killed his rival, Zarak. During the first days, him and Zarak, the Sith assassin apprentice, had a huge rivalry. But in the end, during this time, however, he killed the Sith assassin, consuming him with his force drain. After killing the Sith assassin, he found a ship and got out of the planet just right before the Jedi and the Republic forces came to the planet during the Battle of Korriban, where finally the battle was lost and the Jedi took over Korriban as a result. After this, he felt like Lord Khan and his Brotherhood of Darkness was flawed, and realized that he wanted to do nothing with the Sith Wars, as he believed that the war was already coming to an end, and it was pointless. So he attacked both sides, feeding every life force he could. Both Lord Khan and Lord Hoth sent out forces to kill this Forgotten One, but they could never do so. They can't kill him, but what they can do is slow down his progress. The Forgotten One realized that the new Sith Wars have reduced the Sith of their power into infighting and eternal conflicts with ideologies and philosophies and beliefs. Very much like Darth Bane, who saw the Brotherhood as flawed, the Forgotten One also too saw the Brotherhood as flawed, and realized that it needed to go, but in the Forgotten One's own terms, not the other way around. He believed, however, that Lord Khan was foolish that he would start a war with the Jedi, the Republic forces, which did not go very well for the Sith, as they realized that the war with the Republic and Jedi orders would only strain the Sith of their resources and power, by also keeping themselves maintained of this power, who or whatever how was for how long. Also, Lord Khan's actions with other Sith Lords too also caused them strain, as other Sith Lords also started wars with the Mandalorians, which was another mistake on their part, realizing they're going to fight a war on two different fronts for a time. The Forgotten One realized that the war was lost. There was nothing the Sith can do except fight to the death. The Forgotten One had no time for death, as he began to consume all life as he wanted to, with his Force powers. He led his own crew of Sith soldiers and whatnot that he could into the unknown regions, where he might be able to spend there for a time, while he watched the Republic and the Jedi defeated the Sith Order as they could, as they pleased. But the Forgotten One cared not for the Sith or the teachings of the Jedi or whoever. All the Forgotten One cared about was blood and death, and also draining the life of those that he could. He felt very much like how the ancient Sith Lord Darth Nihilus felt, but unlike a wound in the Force, he was not a wound in the Force himself, but he did felt that he was an insatiable amount of hunger. He drained the life of those followers who followed him to the unknown regions, swallowing their life force with his Force-drained powers, leaving them powerless, and also killing many of those that he could. Not because of selfish manner, but because he felt that he was hungry, that the Force was telling him, feed on the life force of those that he could not protect, or those that he simply wished, whatever he desired. The dark side was all this thing, passion. Through passion, you gain strength. Through strength, power. Through power, victory. These, and also, I would be able to break your chains. All the Sith philosophy basically taught him that whatever the Sith may go, that code always stuck with him to the core, no matter what. But this sensational amount of hunger drove him mad, insane. It also managed to drove him to the point where he could no longer recognize who he was anymore. He didn't recognize his name, nor his life. All he knew was death and hunger. And that is what stuck with him for thousands and thousands of years, and to the later days of the Galactic Empire. During this time in the unknown regions, during his time when he spent there the most unknown, unwanted, and also forgotten, he began to felt nothing but hunger. He landed upon a world of unknown on the planets of Lehon as well, which the planet was stronger connected to the dark side. There, he learned all that he could about the life of those planets. He didn't want to consume them, though, but he did want to learn more. More knowledge, more power. As the Galactic Civil War was already coming to an end, his humanoid form could no longer hold itself. The body was dying, and so too was him. He realized the only way that he can save himself was that, he must be trapped in his armor, is basically the point of his life. He didn't feel sadness, nor pain, nor guilt. All that he felt was nothing but pityness, and a thirst need for revenge against the Jedi Order, which in his mindset was not over yet for the wars to come. He didn't know what to do in the unknown regions. All he could do was stay out of the Jedi's sights and continue his thirst for hunger as he could. And much like Nihilus before him, he became fully embraced in the dark side, and fully became a Force dark side energy, only trapped with his mask and armor. But he didn't want to die in the unknown regions. He wanted to simply consume his hunger for knowledge, and also to feast on the life beings of the galaxy. This idea correlate with him during his time in the unknown regions, learning much about new threats and possibilities in the unknown regions, which was great for him. All he simply needed was to consume their life force and everything he could. That was pretty much the Sith Lord he was. That was the way he was raised. That's the only way he knew it. Unfortunately, his human body could not hold it. He couldn't control his body anymore. That was the problem. And like I said before, he became much like Darth Nihilus was, only consumed by the hunger of the dark side, and spending years after years of training with those that he once called master. He finally accepted it, and he became trapped within his robes, his armor, and the fate of the Forgotten One was it. Even though his fate was unknown, he still, I believe, lives in the unknown regions, biding his time and waiting for the right opportunity to strike in the galaxy. Who knows? Maybe he's even building his own faction, or whoever. But what is known, however, that no matter where others, Jedi or Sith, view him as an evil entity that needs to be killed, the Forgotten One wasn't evil. He simply believed that what he was doing was right in his mindset. Or maybe he wasn't. You never know. He never believed in the ideas of killing, but he did anyways. He killed simply because for his hunger, and for him and his mindset, he only did this to survive. Survive in a war that he knew the Sith could never win. But that's a tail end for another day. And that's when the story of the Ancient Forgotten One comes to a close in this Voxcast. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for listening to the video. I know it may be a little bit crappy and whatnot, maybe to you guys. I don't know. But anyways, I do thank you guys for watching the video. I know it took me some time to think and process today only. As I kept my promise, I would release this video. The next time there will be a part 2 of this video. And to continue on with the Forgotten One story. And the second part will probably be his last, because this is kind of like a short story. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, thank you for listening, and I'll probably see you guys in the next video, perhaps. When we get back to it. See you guys later. Have a great day.